Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wanted to play Magnus Carlsen? Well, over 100,000 people got their wish. Magnus really took on a challenge by chess.com recently, and he played a game against the world. This is not the first time that this event has taken place. Gary Kasparov has done it, Vishy Anand has done it, but this game was played with a twist. Let me flip the board so we can see this from Magnus's perspective. You will notice that they are playing freestyle chess, or chess 960, depending which version you call it, where the back row of pieces has been shuffled. So how does Magnus get on against the world? Can the world defeat Magnus Carlsen? Magnus starts with e4 and we get e5, and Magnus here comes up with a very interesting idea immediately. He plays the move d4, gambiting the pawn in the center of the board. The world responds by taking, and this is Magnus's idea. He plays f3. So he attempts to win the pawn back with the queen, and his idea is that while black spends time defending the pawn, he is going to develop, and he's going to compromise black's position. The best move here for black to try and hold on to this pawn. So firstly, you can't go there. It loses a piece. And there's no really other pawns that you can use to defend it. So maybe instead of knight to c6, maybe the world here should have invested in something like c5. But then the Magnus would have struck back with like b4. So the best move, according to the computer, is for the world to play f5, striking back. Anyway, we develop both knights, and now the world can again play f5, but elects to play f6. Magnus takes in the center, we get takes, queen takes, and now the knight comes out. And this knight comes out as well, and long castles from the world. Not the best move, and it now gives Magnus some advantage. You'll see the computer react in a moment. When did they have advantage? I feel like they had advantage somewhere. No. Long castles. And now long castles from Magnus, and now bishop d6. So far the world has done alright, 8 moves in, but Magnus is better. And now the computer reacts. And Magnus is better if... sorry, let me just change this. Hopefully you won't see it. You might. Yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, number of lines 3. I don't know what's going on there. I'm only seeing one analysis. Anyway, the best move here is a4, taking space on the queen side. You can also play a couple of moves here, like bishop f2 or trading off the bishop, something like that. Magnus plays bishop to g3, looking to double the pawns on d6, and it's not the best move. Now there are 3 lines. Hold on, give it a second. Sorry, I know this is not good analysis, but this is chess 960. Yeah. So for Magnus to keep advantage here, he needs to play either bishop... that can't be right. Bishop to e5. How do you get a bishop to e5? That's got to be what black plays, right? 9, bishop e5. I don't know. I'm reading it. It says bishop e5. I don't know. Bishop takes g3. Okay. So yeah. The world can play bishop to e5. Or they can play bishop takes g3. They play bishop takes g3. And they've got this position. Which is pretty much level. The world plays d6, and now king to b1. Magnus just giving himself some space. And there's not really too much here. You can see the advantage is gone. I think if I go back, long castles was a mistake. Give it a second. I don't know why the computer's not reacting. Yeah, okay. Long castles. Bishop d6, and now Magnus was better, right? Wait for the bar, wait for the bar, wait for the bar, wait for the bar. There it is. And it's a4, it's queen e3 getting out the way, and there was another move, but Magnus chose to trade off the bishops. It was a decent idea, but now d6 can be won, queen e6, and now here. And, I mean, Magnus has got ideas. Like, he can rook lift, like, he's going to go for this black king. The white king is safe, Magnus is about to have all his pieces out, so the world needs to defend themselves. It is a +1 advantage, but it's only +1 if the world plays something like Magnus could have played a4 or queen e3. Anyway, c5, played by the world. A very brave decision to push pawns in front of a castle king. Magnus's only advantage here is to play queen a5, and that's what he plays. And now king b8, and now Magnus has to find a critical move. Now, he was very busy. Magnus Carlsen's a very busy person. He does have... they give him like 24 hours to make a move, but, you know, he's a very busy man. He was just playing a whole lot of stuff. The best move here is knight to d5. This knight is pinned because the queen would take the rook. So you're planting your knight in the center. You're threatening to take this and double the pawns. And the best move here, according to the engine, for black to play is bishop to f7, threatening various attacks this way. So that if takes, queen gets in, kaboom. So this is the main idea. Unfortunately, Magnus doesn't find knight d5. Instead, he plays b3, disallowing this knight from moving forward and discover tactics, and this allows now bishop to c6. Now the rooks defend each other, and now we get why is that happening? I don't know if it moved on your part, but anyway, bishop c6 from Magnus Carlsen, and now d5, a very good move from the world. Striking in the center, activating the pieces, we get the knight out the way, we have a big trade, and here, bishop, it looks like it's a pin, but you can take the rook with check, check, and this is it, and we move the queen out the way. And this is how the position has developed, and it is very much level. The only advantage white has is that they are Magnus Carlsen. The advantage the world has is that they are the world, and Magnus has some doubled pawns here. But that probably won't be enough. If either side wants to play, you keep pieces on the board. If you want to make draws, you trade pieces. So we get a4. Magnus still pushing on the queen side, but b6 kicks him out. He goes back to d2. King c7 disallows any infiltration along any of these squares. And now queen check. We don't allow the queen trade on e5 because we had queen e5 blocking, queen g4. The queen goes back, and now we trade off the bishops, and we trade off the rooks. King takes so that you don't lose this pawn. And this queen endgame is probably very drawish. And by that I mean we get king over, and black just goes for it. Queen e2, threatening to take on c2. Magnus takes the pawn, but allows queen takes c2, king a3, queen c1, and a repetition of moves. The world has held Magnus Carlsen to a draw.